This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now you might recall that a few weeks ago I did a video about what I would do if I fell on hard times and had to start selling off gear to pay the bills. But I would still need to replace that with something hopefully just as effective, but more cost effective, because this is how I make my living, playing guitar and teaching guitar. At the moment, the main engine room of my guitar sound is the Blue Guitar Amp 1. I mention it in just about every video, so I can't imagine you didn't know that. But that is an expensive piece of kit, and if it needed to go, as I say, to pay a bill, what would I replace it with as the main sort of engine room of my guitar tone? And the option I came up with in that video was one of these, the TC Electronic JIMS45 pedal. Essentially, a Marshall JTM45 in a box, in a pedal. Two channels, sort of distorted and more distorted. You can get a clean sound out of it, but it's very much that Marshall version of a clean tone, which is always got a little bit of fur around the edges, which I like, and then a foot switchable boost for whatever sound you've got dialed in. Round the back you've got input, output to go to an amplifier, output to go into a recording interface, which is how I was using it. This one includes a Celestion impulse response, so it's got that nice kind of classic Marshall kind of Celestion speaker kind of thing going on. Presence control, this little rocker switch here controls your boost. It's essentially either a volume boost, if you have it kind of at the end of the signal chain inside the pedal, or it's a preamp boost, which means that it's a gain boost. I had it set as a gain boost in the following demonstration. And then you got your power socket here, and then a USB socket here. It doesn't interact with your computer at all. That's just for firmware updates in future. So I hooked it all up and had a little bit of a play around with it, and this is how things went. Okay, so we've got it all hooked up here, and everything's at 12 o'clock, and I'm on the green channel, which is the sort of lower gain of the two channels. We've got a normal gain and a high gain control here. Level, bass, middle and treble. Let's just deal with the normal and high for a moment. I'm just consulting the manual, so I shall read verbatim what it says there. So yes, the normal sets the gain for the amplifier model's normal signal path, and the high sets the gain for the amplifier's bright signal path. So basically, when you've got like the normal and the bright channels on an old Marshall Plexi or whatever, you blend those two together. That's essentially what those two controls are for. Everything else, level, bass, middle, treble, self-explanatory really. So just with everything at 12 o'clock, I'm playing a Les Paul here, bridge pickup, all the controls on the guitar on full. This is the sound we get. That is very Marshall-y, funnily enough. Let's explore what this green channel can do. So I'm just going to turn the two gain controls to about, where are we? What's that? That's about well, you can see where it is there. I can't read the controls from here, but I can see where the arrows are pointing. Basically, pointing to about 3 o'clock, if you were thinking it was a clock face. And let's just do a big thrangy chord on that and see what happens. As you can probably hear, I've got a little bit of delay and reverb that I just tend to have on all the time as I'm recording into Reaper. But the core amp tone is clearly audible, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm really impressed with this. Let's just dime that, the two gain controls there, and see what happens. Again, it's behaving like, you know, you would think you were plugged into a Marshall amp. The other thing I'll point out here is that that's a fair bit of kind of grit I've got going on there. But there's no noise. I'm not running a noise gate or anything in Reaper as I'm recording this. That is just the sound that's coming out of the pedal. Let's see what we've got a sort of fair idea of what that channel sounds like. Let's now hit the red channel, and when you switch channels, by the way, that saves the position of wherever you've set these controls on the previous channel. So even if I start faffing around with these controls now, which I'm going to do, the pedal will remember where the settings were for the previous green channel, and retain those sounds. So let's have a listen to what the red channel sounds like. Kind of picking up from where it left off with the other channel. Let's we've got a boost here as well, which is you can set this to being like a pre or post boost. Basically, it will either be a boost in volume if you put it post the controls. So you can use it as if you're using this live, you can use it as a kind of soloing boost to get you over the volume of the rest of the band for your solo, or you can set it to pre as a gain boost, which is where I've got it set at the moment. And again, no noise. Let's have a listen to what this has done. That is very much a sound I could happily solo with. I'm not touching the tone controls. I'm not needing to. The bass, middle and treble, they never really do much on any kind of Marshall amp anyway. It's, you know, all they ever do is just kind of tinker around the margins of the sound. They're not particularly, Marshall amps aren't known for having, you know, tone controls with you know, a great deal of travel. What you hear when you plug into a Marshall is basically what you're going to get. So I'm just going to leave those alone for the moment. There is a presence control on the back of the unit as well, which again I'm not touching. I'm really liking this. Let's go back to the previous channel. There it is. And you'll notice that when I had the boost switched on the red channel, when I go back to that channel, it automatically remembers that there's a boost being applied. So, you know, that's how the pedal works. And now it's gone back to the settings I had earlier. So One thing that's always important to me is, does this clean up from the guitar's volume control? Well, let's try that. I'm going to go over to the neck pickup on the guitar. Back the guitar's volume down. Yeah, it cleans up. It feels like you're playing through a Marshall amplifier. Let's try cleaning up the bridge pickup sound. So that's everything on 10, and back the guitar's volume. And then in the middle position. Yeah, it feels like playing through a Marshall amplifier, but without the hiss and the noise and any of that. I'm gonna tell you, I'm really impressed with this. I'm gonna have some fun with this. So would it take pedals? Well, I don't honestly think I would. For what I do, it would need pedals. I'm back on the overdrive channel there, the red channel we'll call it, because it's red light. You know, that's plenty enough gain for me to do all of my kind of, you know, and all of the okay, maybe I might kind of think about putting a pedal in front of that. It's just, again, like an old school Marshall, you get everything turned up full, and it's turned up to 10, and you just wish you could turn it up to 11. But it's pretty damn close, that is. It's got that kind of Marshall gutsiness, that mid-range clout that a Marshall always kind of brings along, a gruntiness to it, and it's very, very convincing in terms of feel as well. The touch sensitivity of what's going on here really is one of the things that's impressing me. You know, go back to the kind of cleaner of the two channels and play softly. You know, you get this lovely kind of warm, clean, bell-like sound, and then kind of dig in a bit. And then back off. Again, I'm not touching any controls here. It does the job, basically. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm going to have some fun with this. Right, let me get the camera set back up so I can talk to you face to face again, and I'll give you some final thoughts. Right, well, it's now a few hours later. I've been back to doing my day job of being a guitar teacher for a little bit, and I've had the JIMS45 pedal hooked up and being my main source of guitar tones as I've been working. And I've been doing lessons on Zoom for the past few hours, and 2 or 3 people have said, "You've done something different with your guitar tone." And I said, "Wow, what do you mean?" "Well, it's just different." I said, "Better or worse?" "Well, just somehow different." And that's sort of where I'm at with the pedal. My usual source of guitar tones, I'm sure you know, is the Blue Guitar Amp 1. And I have that dialed in for a very kind of grunty, martially sound. The sort of sound that this pedal excels at, but it just gives a different version of it. It's hard to explain. It's like, I would say that it's possibly a little bit like, imagine if your favourite pizza takeaway place was closed for renovation and you ordered the same pizza but from a different place. It'd kind of be the same but not quite, and that's sort of where I'm at with the JIMS45 pedal. I did you know, kind of figure out that the reason why I couldn't get quite as much gain as I wanted out of the red channel was because I'd forgot to turn the gains up on the red channel when I switched over to that. You know, I put the boost on and messed around with the level and stuff, but I hadn't turned the gain up. But when you do, there is plenty of gain on tap, as we shall now hear. yeah, there is no shortage of fire on tap there. So what do I think about this pedal then? Well, initial impressions are really good. I got this as a B-stock item from Toman and I paid £78 for it. And for that kind of money, and or if I paid full price, I think it was 99. But but even for like full price, £99, it's still very, very good at what it is. It's a sort of amp modeler that, if I was going to use one, would be the sort of thing I want. I want one sound done really well, rather than scrolling through endless menus of bazillions of different sounds. So I'm just going to live with the pedal for a while. Coming up in a couple of weeks, you will see a full review of it. Because of my filming schedule, I've had other things to fit in before I did before I do the review of this pedal. But there will be a full review coming up, and perhaps some kind of side-by-side A/B test between the Blue Guitar Amp 1 and the JIMS45 pedal. Will it replace the Blue Guitar Amp 1? It's gonna, let's just say that this is a very, very, very hard act to follow. I wouldn't imagine so, but I wouldn't rule it out entirely either. So there you go, folks. That is my initial impressions, first impressions review of the JIMS45 preamp pedal from TC Electronic. Make of it what you will. And I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about stuff, music, guitars, and many, many, many other things quite often. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.